That's it. That's the bit. Hey, it is Ryan from Super Rad. We're coming at you with a AI suicide review, the new Falls for the Elderly. Ooh, the beer is misty. What the fuck? I'm gonna drink my Silent Hill ass beer. Yeah! Alright, AI suicide, into the actual record. Failure to Thrive. The record opens with this almost knocked loose cloney little tiny bit. Cool riffs and vocals quickly differentiate themselves from the other hardcore bands cloning Knocked Loose, with blast beats and intense riffs, licks on these guitars, just blasting unrelenting brutality into your ear holes. Metal growls really make this a blend of hardcore and metal that you can't describe as metalcore. It's so hardcore forward, it doesn't really sound like Warped Tour yet. And that yet is where the record gets good. But right now, we're dealing with a pretty alright hardcore record. The Spy Kids is the second track, opening with a guitar riff that almost sounds like a scraping a knife on a sidewalk in like a brutal good way, into this disgusting fucking snare, leading into a groovy as fuck riff, making a real melodic hardcore vibe before the vocals cut through this brutal screams of "I can't help you on my own" into more brutality. This track is great, but starts to display the record's weakness in the first half. Songs blend into each other, and not in a fun, cohesive, Talking Violet way. They all mostly sound the same. Granted, what is there is kick-ass, but apart from the intros, it kinda just sounds the same. And those intros are displayed with BMX2, sounding like a Warped Tour band in a great way, with some shoegazy influence, but descending back into that sound of the rest of the A side of the record. Even though it does bring in a lot of these death metal influence on the second half, with double time right before the breakdown. Cell Phone takes the record back to its initial vibe and sound, bringing in some of that death metal influence with some sped up tremolo parts, sounding similar to BMX with a cool little bit of clean vocals laid underneath the screams, ending the songs off with a cool little groovy vibe into the breakdown. Trazodone is where the record gets fucking good. It's this cool shoegazy little interlude that breaks up the A side and the B side, and honestly, I wish that they'd blended what comes after this into the first 4 or 5 songs on the record. Instead of just having like it separated into sections, it would have made it more enjoyable as a cohesive listen. But either way, moving into the mall, it opens with a vocal that, like, I went to the mall and I got ripped off. Is this some diss on mall crimes? Like, are they dissing mall crimes? Am I reading too far into this shit? Or is this like an entire mall crimes diss? Either way, it might be my favorite fucking track on the record. It breaks the mold wherever the opening and closing spoken word bits are. They're funny as fuck, and musically, the song is heavier than other points on the record, and honestly, having put Cell Phone after this probably would have been the right move to make to really alleviate the sameness that the record picked up in the first half. But if this is what Falls for the Elderly chases a sound, they have a bright future, and spoiler alert, that's what they do on the record. So, Botched blends the rest of the record with that pace change of the mall, creating this brutal beatdown song with this slow, heavy, and brutal, cutting into a melodic, drawn-out guitar chords. Why'd you guys save this shit for the end? Like, even if you wanted to separate it, why didn't you open with this really good shit and then go into that, like, more standard hardcore stuff? It's fucking phenomenal. So now, what was the final single off this record, and it opens with this moody, emo, and fucking like Creed almost vibe into some fantastic screams over the emo shoegazy chords. Falls for the Elderly are definitely at the strength of these melodic songs, and they take influence from emo. While the earlier stuff on the record is just good hardcore, this is really where Falls for the Elderly shine. The clean vocals on this track make it catchy as fuck, really bringing home the metalcore vibe. And the melodic guitar work also complements this. The "I don't breathe, I don't speak" vocals are as catchy as any 2010s white girl music, while still bringing the brutality. I might have lied, the mall is good, but this is the best song on the record. Suicide opens with another shoegazy emo riff into screams layered over clean vocals. Falls for the Elderly's signature sound on the B side of this record, which is absolutely amazing. There's some heavy yet still melodic shit. Kill Me, monotonously sung over the guitars, bringing vibes off The Valley by Whitechapel. Honestly, the entire B-side of this record brings a lot of the same vibe that Whitechapel does on The Valley and Kin. It's like tailor-made for me. I fucking love The Valley. I fucking love Kin. It's just a little bit more melodic, not deathcore-esque, and it succeeds in every step of doing that. The emo melodic vibes elevate the B-side of this record to a point way above the A-side. The A-side is good. The B-side is fucking phenomenal. Overall, I don't think it's fair to rank the A and B sides together. The record almost feels like two separate EPs. So I'd say the A side, solid 7. It's pretty great hardcore. The B side, however, is a 9. I really, really hope that False Reality elaborate and own their sound on the B side in the next release. Also, real quick, I wrote this script on the bus that No Exceptions got to go to the Elma combo. I'm recording this on the 3rd of February, 2nd of February, last night. I feel this is a shorter review, so I'm going to talk about that real quick. Threw us all on the bus. I know their drummer Jet's mom, Mandy, set it up. Shout out, Mandy. That was a blast. That was such a cool idea. You get up there, you go to Toronto, you go to the show, you get back on the bus and go home. And man, it was a lot of fun. So any bands that are looking for like ideas how to get people into Toronto for like early shows before they have a following there, do that. Because the vibe of the entire venue, the energy just went through the roof when No Exceptions hit the stage. It was such a blast. Anyway, final thing. If you want to keep up with this little homie, #brown.online. I think it's #brown.online. Let me check real quick. I don't know if it's dots or underscore. Yeah, it's dots. #brown.online on Instagram. I schizo post them sometimes. It's hilarious. At least I think it's funny. I don't know. Follow him. Big comedy. Anyway, we'll see you in the next review. Hopefully next week. I have no idea what we're doing next week, actually. So I will get that teaser up for y'all right now. Ooh, we're breaking the mold here. Our first review of a major band. We're going to be looking at Men at Work's Cargo. Not even their first record, their second record. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be fucked. Peace.